FM.
This is 93.7 Citizen FM, Abuja.
The time is 12 noon. A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Citizen FM's news at noon. I am Philomena Okolo. President Muhammadu Buhari has given the Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, 90 days to develop a comprehensive plan of action for the prevention of flood disaster in Nigeria. The President's directive was conveyed to the Minister in a letter signed by his Chief of Staff, Ibrahim Gambari, according to a statement by Presidential spokesman Garba Shehu. According to the statement, Buhari ordered the minister to coordinate with the Ministries of Environment and Transportation, as well as state governments to develop the plan. Shehu also said Buhari is regularly receiving updates on the flooding situation in the country and restates his commitment towards addressing the challenges caused by the disaster in the country.
The country was interested in having its own vaccine, producing vaccines. So I believe that his presence at this forum.
President Muhammadu Buhari is in Seoul, South Korea for the maiden edition of the World Bio Summit 2022. The president, who touched down at the Luncheon International Airport in the early hours of today, was received by Nigeria's ambassador to South Korea, Ali Magashi, alongside some Korean officials. The Nigerian leader is set to participate in the first Global Bio Summit organized jointly by the government of South Korea and the World Health Organization. Nigeria is participating along with 5 other African countries, and President Buhari is expected to deliver Nigeria's statement at the event. Special Advisor to the President on Media, Femi Adesina, gives details on the trip.
The country was interested in having its own vaccine, producing vaccines. So I believe that his presence at this first World Bio Summit is a continuation of that pledge that Nigeria will get of other countries. But by the time you have got involved in vaccine production, then you can be self-sufficient and you can plan. So I think it's a good one. It's a good one for Nigeria. And one thing about President Buhari is when he has passion for something, he follows it all the way. You see his passion for climate change, and you see how he attends climate change conference.
And that was the Special Advisor to the President on Media, Femi Adesina. President Buhari has called on all nations, multilateral and donor agencies to support global financing of media and information literacy to fight fake news and misinformation. The president made the call in Abuja Open, the UNESCO Global Media and Information Literacy Week, with the theme, Nurturing Trust, a Media and Information Literacy Imperative. The president, who was represented by his Chief of Staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, said he was aware that one of the major outcomes of the conference will be the Abuja Declaration. The Abuja Declaration, according to him, will center on global financing for media and information literacy as an imperative to fight misinformation and build trust in the societies.
The hosting of this event is an indication of the growing symbiotic relationship between Nigeria and UNESCO in addressing one of the challenges facing our world. It also further amplifies our commitment as a government and people to the continued implementation of the United Nations General Assembly Resolution on Media and Information Literacy. We call on all countries around the world to develop and implement policies, actions, and strategies related to the promotion of media and information literacy.
Assistant Director General Communications and Information, UNESCO, Dr. Tawifik Jelasi said the parallel sessions of the event will be geared towards finding the linkages to build trust among societies and individuals through the use of social media.
We have seen this 30 years ago when electronic commerce started. Why would people buy online? Why would people share their credit card details online if there isn't a trust? Trust is at the heart of the matter. And
with the launch of the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone program, Nigeria can, in less than a decade, banish food insecurity while radically improving export earnings from agriculture, creating millions of lucrative agro-industrial jobs and opportunities for its citizens. This was stated by the Vice President Yemi Oshibajo, SAN, when he represented President Muhammadu Buhari at the official launch of the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zones in Nigeria, held at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Abuja. Professor Oshibajo noted that the launch of the SPAS program heralded a profoundly important moment in our agricultural odyssey. The Vice President, who noted that the SPAS program was recently approved by the Federal Executive Council, stated that the program is a major cross-cutting value chain investment effort driven by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development in alignment with the National Agricultural Technology and Innovation Policy of the federal government to incentivize industrialization for private sector development.
That's on its objectives. I will have no doubt that then we will, in less than a decade, deal a fatal blow to food insecurity. We will create millions of good-paying jobs, and we will create an agro-industrial opportunity such as has never been seen on this continent.
That was the voice of the Vice President of Nigeria, Yemi Oshibajo. The AFDB president noted that despite its massive agricultural potential, Africa still faced huge challenges in meeting its food needs, with 283 million people that go hungry annually.
One of the highest levels of support across African countries. We must act faster to avert a food crisis in Nigeria. It is worrying that these emergency funds approved since July of 2022 for emergency food production have yet to be signed for implementation by.
The Nigerian Medical Association says Nigeria is now battling with its worst situation of brain drain in history, as no fewer than 10,296 Nigeria-trained doctors are currently practicing in the United Kingdom. The association's national president, Dr. Uche Ojinma, raised the concern on Monday at a press briefing to mark the 2022 Physicians' Week in Ibadan. Ojinma said Nigeria has the third highest number of foreign doctors working in the UK after India and Pakistan. Now onto the foreign scene. Russia must not escalate the conflict in Ukraine with false claims that Kyiv is planning to unleash a so-called dirty bomb, the head of NATO has warned. Jens Stoltenberg weighed in following Moscow's repeated allegations that Ukraine could deploy such a weapon, sparking fears Russia could use one and blame Kyiv. The head of the United States-led military alliance said he had spoken with Pentagon Chief Lloyd Austin and British Defense Secretary Ben Wallace about Russia's false claim that Ukraine is preparing to use a dirty bomb on its own territory. Onto the sports scene, Roma striker Tammy Abraham admitted that Victor Osimhen's late goal in Napoli's hard-fought 1-0 win made the Giallorossi sad. Nigeria forward Osimhen crashed in his third goal in as many games, with 10 minutes remaining of his first start since his return from injury, to hand the Paratenlope a win against one of their fiercest Serie A rivals in the Derby del Sole. Luciano Spalletti's men took advantage of the Atlanta's 2-0 home defeat to Lazio earlier on Sunday to move further ahead of the pack and become the only unbeaten side left in Italy's top flight. Roma are 7 points back in the 5th after a dodged battling performance at the Stadio Olimpico, but largely kept a lid on possibly Europe's most exciting team. And that was Citizen FM's 93.7 News at Noon, as edited by Lawrence Umoete. I am Philomena Okolo. To listen to us online, please visit www.citizenfm.ng. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Citizen FM Abuja, on Instagram, Citizen FM 937, on Twitter, Citizen FM 937.